I'm currently reading this book, right? I'm in the middle of it. It's called Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And it's a very popular book in the self-improvement industry or whatever you want to call it, right? And it's such an interesting, every book I've been reading has been so interesting, and I've been learning so much, which I really like, because I didn't even like reading before, but now that I found the type of books that I like reading, self-improvement and things that like talk about like mental, science, physical, all this stuff like combined and teach you how to do better in life essentially, I find it so appealing, right? But in this book specifically, one of the chapters is talks about the idea of your self-image and how important it is, right? So, and it's so weird because before I even started reading that book, I kept like, through like random clips that I saw and like information, I would see how important it is to have like self-trust, and the whole point of like having good habits and having good life structure, because it builds the trust within yourself and builds your self-esteem, self-confidence, allowing you to do more stuff. So it's like your morning routine isn't essential for you to go to work, right? But if you do it, you trust yourself more a little throughout other decisions that you make. So if you tell yourself, okay, every morning I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna stretch up, I'm gonna drink water, I'm gonna wake up at a certain time, and you actually do those things, you build this sort of trust with yourself, like a sort of credibility, like how the credit system works, right? And then so when you go, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym today. Okay, I'm gonna start my business today. Okay, I'm gonna read this book today. You do it again because you built that trust and you don't want to break it anymore. You stay within the credit limit or whatever you want to call it. It makes sense, right? But that's what I was thinking about. And then I started picking this book up, and one of the first few chapters talks about your self-image and about how important it is to recreate it if you're not where you want to be, right? So this whole book is about self-improvement and the way that your mind works. And it talks about how every human has a operating system within them that's built for success, right? And he goes on to more and more detail about this if you want to read the book. But essentially, let's just take that concept on that everybody has a system built in them for success, but it only gets success. You actually achieve the success based on the data you feed it. It's like a computer inside you, let's just say, right? So if you feed it negative data, you're gonna fail. But if you feed it positive data, you're gonna succeed. But it depends on what kind. The data has to be really specific. So if you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym today, that's technically positive data. You feed it to yourself, now your body will find the time, find the energy, find it in your schedule to go to the gym, and you actually go to the gym. But if you go, oh, I'm too tired, I don't feel like going to the gym today, your body will again look for like time that you don't have and be like, yeah, you don't need to go to the gym, you have to do your homework, and you didn't even eat enough today, and you don't have enough clothes, you have to do laundry. Like, it looks for bullshit, right? And it all connects back to your self-image. So your self-image is essentially how you view yourself. It's your self-perception. He says in the book self-conception. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, but one's how you view yourself, right? It's how you view yourself. And so if you tell yourself the right things, your body will look for the right things to do. It's all about having the right inputs to get the right outcomes. And it makes sense because, so another thing he talks about is like the things that you tell yourself, your body, like in real life, will look for proof, will do those things to prove the statements that you said to yourself, right? So like I just gave the example about the gym. Another one would be like in the book, he literally talked about a kid whose teachers would tell him, and your self-image isn't only created from the things you say from yourself, it's from nature, nurture, peers, students, videos, everything that you ever intook creates your self-image. So in the example in the book, he said that there was a student who was told that by his teachers that he wasn't good at math, and so like I just said, he would always not properly do his math work. He would always fail his test, this and that, right? But then one day he was like, you know what? There was like a arithmetic problem on the board. He was like, I can do that. And then he went up and everybody's like, oh, he's not gonna be able to do it, this and that. But he told himself he can do it, and he solved it and he got it correct. And then from that point on, he kept telling himself, I am good at math. I am good at math. I can do this and that. And then he started proving, his test score started going up. He was able to solve multiple problems. And you see this in multiple occasions. I know a lot of business people were like scared to get into business because they said they weren't good at math and calculating financials and all this and that. And then this was all told to them that they were bad at math from like the school system, their parents or whatever. And then once they actually get into business, the math is the easiest part. They're like, what the fuck, this shit was easy. All it took was a couple of lessons that I needed to get the knowledge, and now I just practicing, and now I'm good at it. And that's literally how it is. Everything is there's a gap between knowledge and skill, right? So if you ever want to learn how to do something, you just need to get the knowledge of it, practice it, and then you get the skill, and now you're able to do it. So this whole idea of cybernetics is you have to recreate your self-image to prove, like, you have to feed it positive data, and it looks for things to do properly. So you can't be like, and it all connects back to like the whole idea of affirmations, where people will wake up and look in the mirror and be like, I am strong, I'm gonna get rich, money flows to me, this and that. It's that whole idea of affirmation made no sense to me, because if you just say those things in the mirror, like, I will become strong, I will be lean, I will be rich, it's like, yeah, you can say it all you want, you can say it for the rest of your life, but if you don't work towards it, it's not going to happen. But now with the idea of self-image recreation, if you tell yourself those things and you constantly tell yourself those things and you don't believe the opposite, like if you tell yourself, I will get rich and not, I will stay poor, then your body and mind will look for ways to get rich, right? If you tell yourself, I'll go to the gym, your body and mind will look for ways to go to the gym instead of avoiding it or being scared or this and that, right? So you need to feed your idea, what he calls it, a servo mechanism inside your body, the right data, and it looks for ways to succeed and prove that. And that all comes back to your self-image, which can come from affirmations or just talking to yourself. And it makes so much sense, because like I literally practice this without even knowing it, and it works. Every single time it works. Like, you will tell yourself certain things and then you'll prove it to yourself within like however big the task might be. So I'll be like, oh, I'm not the type of guy to talk to girls in the gym, right? I want to keep my privacy, this and that. And for the longest time, I would keep my privacy. I would be like, hey, let's just say to ourselves, this is the type of guy I am. And then literally, when I started reading this book, I was like, this is one, like, I always think about, like, why don't I talk to girls in the gym, right? So I was like, if it's such a constant topic in my mind, why don't I do it? And so then when I thought about this book chapter, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me tell myself that I'm the type of guy who talks to girls. I'm the type of guy who gets girls in the gym, this and that. I'm the type of guy who can go up and approach women without feeling shy and timid. And within, like, I read that book, and the very next day I talked to a girl, and then the very next day I talked to a girl again. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, this whole time, 3 years I've been in the gym, I rarely ever approached women, right? I don't even think I did. But that's another whole nother topic. But the fact that I read this book, applied the knowledge, and said, like, it was all just the way I viewed myself. I viewed myself as someone who doesn't waste time in the gym, doesn't go talk to girls, doesn't know how to approach women, whatever. And then within days of rechanging my image and how I viewed myself, I did it. So try it out with different things. Try it out with small tasks, big tasks. Say the affirmation to yourself. Genuinely believe it. And don't just say like, oh, I will get rich tomorrow. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it has to make sense. It has to be efficient. It has to be like logical, right? It has to be rational. So you need to be able to tell yourself things to eventually recreate your self-image. And if you don't say the right things, or you say out-of-pocket stuff like that, you yourself won't even believe it, so you know it won't happen. Like, you need to genuinely say realistic things and then believe it in yourself, and then that allows you to recreate your image. And if you're gonna say something to yourself, you need to practice it. So if you go, I'm the type of person who works out, you actually need to go to the gym for your mind to believe what you said was right. So again, the whole aspect of self-trust and stuff. So it's like, you tell yourself, I'm the type of person who goes to the gym. For your brain to believe what you're actually even saying, because right now, if you're the type of person who says something and then doesn't follow through, your brain doesn't even trust you. So then you need to say a bunch of stuff and actually accomplish doing those stuff, and then your brain starts believing and trusting you, and then you're able to do harder and harder stuff. Maybe, you know, in the beginning it's just, I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m. Then it becomes, I'll take 5-minute cold showers. Then it becomes, I approach every woman I see. Then it becomes, I start a business. It's like, it comes with levels. Just like the way your credit works, the higher your credit, the more you're able to take from the banks and whatever. The lower your credit is, the less you can take. So the bigger the task, the more credit you need, the more trust you need within yourself. Try it out. It genuinely works. I'm telling you right now, it's so interesting, such an interesting concept.